I bought sneakers from not only just StockX, he went to GOAT, eBay, and POIZON. Now I want you guys to go ahead and give me some predictions before we start this video off and let me know what company you guys think is going to sell the best sneakers. Or if you don't have a prediction just yet, let me know if you've bought from any of these companies before, as I'm sure you have since these are well-known companies. Let's go ahead and get straight into it.
Buy your sneakers. I want to find out, so I decided to put it to the test.
Off rip, I do want to give my little prediction. I feel like eBay is not going to be one of them ones. I actually haven't bought a sneaker, or I've really looked even on the POIZON website, so I can't really comment on POIZON. I think it is a really high quality website and company, but if I had to pick between StockX and GOAT, I probably would pick StockX. I'm more familiar with them, but I also know GOAT is another one of those good ones. So with that being said, let's go ahead and see.
I bought the same pair of sneakers from the biggest sneaker apps out there: StockX, eBay, GOAT, and POIZON. And I can tell you that I did not expect what happened next.
It doesn't feel like a.
Is eBay really the one, one of them ones that people really trust? Because I heard eBay and maybe even Amazon, they're a little bit sketchy with sneakers. But yeah, I don't know. I've never really been a person to really trust eBay. I don't know what it is about their reputation.
As you can see,
A couple minutes ago, I got another email saying my size 9.5 has been canceled.
This pair came into the store, and I'm the buyer.
You're not buying it.
Oh, he buying Travis's? Man, this man got money. I hate when he wears that. Something about being broke. I hate when he wears that hat. It's just
I would pass on it.
Bro, gotta be trolling.
So this scientific test will be scored in
pretty much broke. Y'all see that hat?
You're not buying it.
That's how y'all know I'm tapped in with his videos.
So this scientific test will be
That is crazy. But I love his overall background. I definitely want to get my background, when I make my own, my studio videos, when I do my top 10 list, my sneaker reviews, comparison videos. I want to get my studio to be like this, because this is super dope. He got the off-whites
in 3
in the back.
categories: price, shipping
nice
time, and
color
most
grading.
importantly, authenticity. And at the end of this video, we'll tally up the scores and find out which platform is the best to buy sneakers on in 2025. So the reason I picked these 4 apps to test is not only because they are the most popular sneaker resale apps out there, but they also offer in-person sneaker authentication. Obviously, this video is not sponsored by any of these platforms, and none of them know that I'm conducting this test. The way these apps work, in case you haven't used them before, is a seller lists their shoes on one of these apps, a buyer then purchases the pair and pays the app for the shoes and some additional fees. But before the seller can receive payment, they have to ship the pair to the platform's in-person authentication center.
What the hell is a processing fee? And why is it costing me $48? That is so crazy.
But before the seller can receive payment, they have to ship the pair to the platform's in-person authentication center. Once the shoe is authenticated, the app then releases the payment to the seller and ships the buyer the shoes. Now, to be fair, it is a much longer process to get the shoes that you want than walking into your local sneaker consignment store. But it does give you a much wider selection, and usually at a cheaper price, because these apps don't have the overheads that brick and mortar stores have. They're also processing much larger quantities of shoes, so they can do it for cheaper. Now, in order to keep this test as fair and as even as possible, I bought the same sneaker from each platform, all within a few minutes of each other. So what sneaker did I pick? The Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low Medium Olive. The reason is because I wanted to pick a shoe that is popular enough that every app would have it, and is limited enough that there's a lot of fakes floating around out there, so we can test the authentication of each platform. Oh, and most importantly, I'm actually giving away a pair of Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low Medium Olives to one of you. All you need to do to enter to win is to collect all 3 core badges that I'll be releasing through the month of February to unlock the exclusive badge. And the first one is live right now, and you can collect it through the link at the top of the description below. Not only that, I've teamed up with Core to launch.
What's the core badge? I'm actually intrigued. Oh, he got us going to a different website. That's crazy.
Memberships. So if you head over to Core and choose to support the channel, you'll get some.
Oh, you gotta pay a monthly fee? PF James.
Some exclusive perks.
Support your creator, unlock exclusive badges. By supporting Seth Flower, you not only help them continue creating amazing content, but also earn exclusive badges. Huh. So you just get a badge
At the monthly
for paying $5 a month? Instantly came supporting my ability to create content. You get exclusive videos, early access to main channel videos. Dang,
You
so it's
reserve
just
yourself all of the
like another
upcoming and
YouTube
current
membership
exclusive
type of
badges
thing?
that will allow you to be entered into every giveaway, including this Travis Scott giveaway. You'll get early access to videos on my channel and core exclusive videos like the studio tour that I literally just posted over on Core. And of course, you will also be supporting my ability
That is a crazy studio. Like, that sneaker collection gotta be over $100,000. No doubt.
to make videos just like this.
I wouldn't think the studio would look like this, but it's kind of interesting to see how it looks. You got the camera. I wonder if this is like a computer or what's going on here. You got the light. It's very
The
interesting.
second monthly tier is the Fowler Fam tier. Like Seth's supporter, it reserves you all of the badges that you need to enter giveaways, including this Travis Scott giveaway, and like the Seth supporter, it also gives you early access to videos on my channel and exclusive core content. But in addition to that, it also gives you a chance to vote on upcoming content from my channel, and you'll also have access to Fowler Fam exclusive
idea.
giveaways like Apothecary socks, or this month, I'm giving away a pair of Travis Scott Nike Field Jacks. And again, these core memberships go a long way in supporting the channel and allowing me to make videos just like this. So thank you to everyone who decides to go over to Core and check out the memberships. I really appreciate it. All that being said, you can still enter for the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low Medium Olive giveaway for absolutely free just by collecting the 3 core badges this month. So again, grab badge 1 and check out the new memberships through the link in the top of the description below. That being said,
Yeah, y'all go
let's order
tap
some
in. I
Travis
don't have
Scotts.
the link in
So
the
I'm buying a
description
pair
if
from
someone
Goat,
tap in.
Stockx, eBay, and POIZON, and I'm actually buying them on the day after Christmas. So I realize that shipping times may be a little funky, but you know, it's a little bit of an extra challenge for these brands to see if they can get them out quickly. Obviously, a lot of the timing has to do with when people are going to ship their shoes, so I'm going to take that into account when I talk about shipping times, but you know, we'll see what happens. So why don't we start things off by buying a pair on Stockx. And of course, we're buying all the pairs in size 9. Sample size, it's my size, so worst case scenario, if I have to keep one, I'll keep one in my size at least. And we'll be able to compare them side by side because they're all the same size. So on Stockx right now, the buy it now price is $493. The express ship option is significantly more expensive. It's $600.
Not saying that's cheap by any means, because I thought they would at least be $1,000, but that don't sound too bad. And then there's a $600 price where it says verified by StockX and ready to ship. And the first one is ships to StockX first for verification. Huh. Why would you pay $600? Is it going to be verified either way?
Standard.
Oh, because it's just ready to ship.
It looks like after
Quicker
fees, we're going to be paying $548.97. So the verification fee is $41.02, and the shipping fee is $14.95. That's an insane verification fee. I wonder if that's the same across all.
Right. What are they verifying?
So it's about 3:42 p.m. Not that that really matters. My guess is that if people do ship their shoes out this weekend, it'll probably be shipped out tomorrow on Friday. It's Thursday. Hopefully they do ship them out tomorrow. That way it can help each one of these companies do better in the ratings at the end of the video. And it looks like after we bought that pair for $493, the next pair available was $494. Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low Medium Olive. So on Goat, a size 9 is $537 with instant ship being $577. Jeez, these are expensive shoes. Okay, so I'm gonna buy a pair, $537. Let's see what the fees are on Goat. The fees are not as bad.
Why is
They're
it so
only
much more
charging me a
expensive
shipping
on
fee
Goat?
of $14.75.
Should I move my cam? I'm gonna lucky move my cam if you want to see that information on the side. I bet.
No fees, it looks like. Wow, that's really great. Okay, so I'm gonna purchase these for $551.75. Now let's head to eBay. eBay is gonna be interesting because there's actually a bunch. $14.75.
This one was $550. Oh, basically the same price, even though the starting price on Goat was higher. Interesting.
Because there's actually a bunch of different options when buying the shoe.
Well,
it's not
StockX
like
was
Goat
still
or
cheaper.
StockX, because on Goat or StockX you can't actually see the shoe. You just see an image of what the shoe should look like, and then they legit check it for you to make sure it's good. Whereas on eBay, you actually get to see actual images of the shoe, at least in most cases. And there's also a bunch of different pricing options, so that does change things up pretty dramatically. I'm gonna go to a size 9. Now it looks like the average price for a size 9 is $515. I'm seeing pairs for $540. This pre-owned pair is $491, which seems like a lot for a pre-owned pair. We've got one for $550, one for $575, one for $370, but it's pre-owned. It's bids too. This one right here is $515, but there's only one. Yeah, this guy only has one feedback. I don't really trust that. They all have the authenticity guarantee, so we should be good even if we buy it from a place that has one feedback. Let's go for that $529 pair. So after fees, because the only fee is shipping, it looks like, I guess the seller gets the fees, it's $540.95, which is actually
so right
not
in the
bad.
middle.
So let's confirm the pay.
You're in the middle of the cheapest.
StockX was the cheapest before this, but this actually ended up being the cheapest. Let's go. Let's buy a pair from POIZON. Now, I don't buy on POIZON anywhere near as much as the other apps. Size 9.
Attention shoppers, for more browsing, go to Jardians.com. We've got a big story to tell.
The price is $5.36. Oof. Pay $9 to get a coupon off your order. I don't know what that is. Like, how is that? What's the coupon deal? So you can buy a coupon, but it's weird buying a coupon. Spend $9 to get $30 off. Like, that makes sense, right? I mean, it's gonna save me 20 bucks. I'm gonna do it. So it looks like my total is gonna be $529.75. It would have been without the coupon bundle, $549.85, but with the coupon bundle,
How does
it's
that make any sense?
$529.75. Now, I don't know if this is fair, just because, I mean, sometimes eBay has coupons, sometimes StockX and Goat, usually just mainly eBay, but I'm just gonna go for it because it's an option. And I feel like if they're offering it, maybe it's, I don't know if it's a holiday thing or what, but I'm just gonna go for it. Now we wait. Let's see who gets here first. Okay, so the way that this ranking system will work is that each app will rank 1 through 4 for each category, and at the end of the video, we'll add up the points and crown a winner. So let's start things off with the price category. Now again, this is an inexact, prices change all the time. So today, one app might be on top, and tomorrow it might completely flip. But coming in with the most expensive total price, we have Goat at $551.75, scoring 1 point for the price round. StockX comes in next with the third most expensive pair at $548.97, scoring 2 points. eBay comes in second at $540.95, scoring 3 points. And POIZON wins this round with the cheapest pair at $529.75, meaning that they score all 4 points.
Smooth.
All right, so I've got some news for you guys. The pair of size 9 Travis Scotts that I ordered from POIZON got canceled. The reason for them getting canceled apparently was the seller did not ship on time, which is odd and frustrating. And also, there was no other size 9s left on the website. So what I decided to do was order a size 9.5 because my original goal was to have all of the pairs be in the same size so that it would be easier to compare them side by side, but no size 9s were available. So instead what I did was order a size 9.5. And just a couple minutes ago, literally a couple minutes ago, I got another email saying my size 9.5 has been canceled. Now I placed this order today, like right after my original pair got canceled. And they emailed me this literally, I don't know, an hour or two after I ordered, and now it has no reason for cancellation. This time around the email says, "We regret to inform you that your recent order has been canceled due to," and then a space and then a period, as if someone just didn't fill out the form and tell me why. And there are no size 9.5s left at the time of filming this. So there are no size 9s, no size 9.5s. The only sizes that are available are like 10s, 8s, stuff that I'm not gonna buy because it's gonna be slightly different and it's not really gonna work out for the video. So, and I'll be honest with you, I'm also kind of ticked off. I'm also kind of annoyed. Instead of ordering a completely different size, and dealing with apparently a seller who just either doesn't have the pairs that he's listed or maybe POIZON just doesn't have them in the warehouse, which is kind of crazy because from what I can tell, there's a lot of pairs of these out there. I'm going to order something different. So what I'm going to do is order a pair of New Balances. It's a pair that I need for a different video. I know it's not great, but we're able to test out the service, see shipping times and things like that. It is December 31st. We will see how long it takes to get in.
Dang, and this video was posted like 3 months ago. This video must have
totally holding out hope.
time.
It's crazy too because I've ordered not a huge amount of stuff, but I've ordered stuff from POIZON before, and I've literally never had an issue. But for some reason with these Travis Scotts, it just isn't working out, and I don't know what's going on. So ordering some New Balances. Hopefully they come in, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right, so now we have to adjust things a little bit because POIZON knocked themselves out of the race. It's now a 1 to 3 point per category ranking, which actually doesn't change the current ranking. The new price ranking is as follows. eBay comes in at number 1 with 3 points, StockX has 2 points, and Goat has 1 point. All right. So everything's here. Everything finally came in. It's been a couple weeks. We ordered on December 26th, and it is now the 14th at the time of filming this. And I think the last 2 packages came in on January 9th. So my plan is just to unbox all these packages, sort of in order that they came, go through them, see if they look legit, and see if any services were better than others in terms of shipping times. Also, I'd like to go over initially whether I think they're authentic or not. Now, as you guys saw, POIZON, that didn't really work out. And it's not because POIZON isn't a legit service. I've used them many times in the past. It's just that for whatever reason, either the seller that was selling the shoes or POIZON themselves kept canceling my Travis Scott order. Both got canceled, so instead I ordered a pair of New Balances because I still wanted to try out the service. Well, at least for you guys, I've done it before. Also check out shipping times and things like that. But unfortunately, we can't really compare it one-to-one with the other brands, which is kind of a bummer, but you know what? It is what it is. Sometimes you just gotta work with what you got. Let's start things off with the first package to come in, and that is the package from GOAT. So this package was by far the fastest. I ordered this standard shipping on GOAT's website on, like I said, December 26th, and it came in on, I think it was December 30th. Let me double check. Yeah, December 30th,
wow,
4 days later. Couldn't believe it. Although I ordered this package like standard shipping, it seems like they had it at their warehouse. Like, one of the options that GOAT gives you when you buy a pair of sneakers is to buy it and then have it sit at their warehouse and then sell it later on. I think that's probably what happened here. My guess is they probably have a lot of these sitting at their warehouse because it's such a popular sneaker. Getting the shoe in 4 days is almost as fast as instant ship, which is kind of wild, especially when I didn't pay the instant ship prices, which is amazing. Oh, it came from their Hong Kong warehouse, which actually makes sense because the first thing I'm seeing inside the box is some Chinese writing on the bottom of the box. Now, although that might seem like a red flag, it's not. A lot of the shoes that you buy do come from overseas, from any of these websites. That makes more sense why this was shipped through DHL, which is where this box came from, or where this package came from.
It's a very clean box.
Right off the bat, the packaging is a little damaged. Not in love with that. Other than the damaged box, it is a size 9. You've got presumably a GOAT tag right there. It's a little bit different than what I've seen before, but I think that's probably because it's coming from their Hong Kong warehouse. Let's pop the top on this box, see what we get. Oh, okay. All right. Well, they didn't do.
That's why there's no wrapping.
Before I was
on it,
preventing migraine with Qulipta,
Could've
it
sworn,
was
don't
hard
you know we
keeping
wrap
plans.
sneakers?
Now I consider volunteering more
I don't
often.
think I've ever bought a sneaker where it has been wrapped in like
Do the
that
paper as nicely on top as they usually do. That's disappointing. Usually when I buy something from GOAT,
Free red flag?
the paper comes like wrapped up, everything's really nice. In this case, they just kind of threw it in there. They legit checked it and then threw it in there. The laces are out of the box. All right. I've not opened any of these packages beforehand. Are we missing a set of laces? There's 2 boxes. Oh no, it's in here. Well, that's disappointing. So the shoe, the shoe looks disheveled. I've got to be honest with you. To give GOAT some credit, I've never once had this happen to me. Somewhat shocked that this is how it's coming in. It's not the worst thing in the world. We will take a glance at the shoes in a second, but like, at first glance, the shoes look like they're in good condition. They don't look damaged in any way. Also, is there a GOAT thing inside the box?
I think I'll move myself a little bit so y'all can see that side a little better. I just want to make sure my cam's good.
There's no GOAT thing inside the box. Every time I've ordered something from GOAT, it's come with a GOAT like tag, and everything's been nicely wrapped up. And this is not the case. They look. Let's compare them against my pair. I do want to take them to a sneaker store now and have them checked out. Let me check underneath the insole. It looks fine at first glance, I'll be honest with you. All right, on to the next pair. All right, so the next pair to come in was from eBay. It came in on, I believe, January 6th. So, what, like a week after the pair from GOAT? Of course, you got your eBay box right there. Kind of standard fare when you buy anything from eBay with the authentication guarantee. This is also a pair from China. You've got the China tag right there. Got some bubble wrap. Packaging is nice. The box itself doesn't look damaged, which is a plus. Moving into the sneakers themselves.
Bro, one of the pet peeves I have when I get a sneaker is when with the box, especially if it's nice, I hate when it gets damaged because it ruins the whole feel. It gets like, I don't know what it's not like an ick, but it's just like when you get a brand new pair of sneakers, you don't want the box to be ruined. It's just like clean sneakers, I guess. I feel like that's like not a good analogy, but like you want to have your sneakers clean, and I feel like you want to have the box should be presented right. Actually, a better analogy is it's like maybe when you watch like a YouTube video, like you'll maybe have a YouTube video and the packaging gotta be right, like the thumbnail and the title, but if it's not right, you don't even want the sneakers anymore, so you're not even gonna watch the video if it's like that YouTube analogy. But that's just me. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that.
All right, so the paper's a little crinkled.
But at least there is paper, though.
Which is not a huge deal, but
yeah,
that's what it is. And a little ripped. That's fine.
Crazy.
The laces are also coming out of the box. Is this just what happens with Travis's? No issues. You've got your eBay tag. You've got what looks like a tag from either the Chinese area of eBay, or part of eBay, or maybe it's just from another resale site that they just left on there. I'm not totally sure. But you've got your eBay tag, which you can scan, and it tells you the authentication date. In fact, let me do that really quick. Checked by authenticity guarantee. Your item was authenticated by our experts.
I don't know how he does it, but
nice to give you some info. It doesn't say
I need to
you
figure
can
it out.
relist the shoe actually directly from there. That's kind of cool. Then the other side comes also with this little pink tag, which again could be from another resale site. I'm not totally sure. Yeah, let me compare it really quick to the goat pair, see if there's any glaring differences. Okay, so color looks good, material looks the same. Looks like the cactus jack is a little bit darker on the goat pair than it is on the eBay pair. What's my pair? My pair is lighter, but the toe on my pair looks different.
Wow.
The toe on my pair looks like a different kind of material. I don't know if this is just inconsistency or if it's something with the pair. I think it might just be inconsistency. I know that sounds naive, but genuinely I do think that these pairs are so like rough that it's just inconsistency. Because even though the red on the goat pair is different than the red on my pair and the red on the eBay pair, it's like all the reds are different. The red on my pair, which I got I think from a seller on Whatnot, but I trust that seller, but there was no authentication there, so who knows. And then this pair, the one from goat, it just looks darker, but I think they're just always like a slightly different tone. We'll check out the third pair. The pair
that is big. That's not even slightly different,
from
right?
goat, it just looks darker, but I think they're just always like a slightly different.
If y'all can't see the right, it just says eBay if my face is blocking it, but on the right, it's like a bloody red. On the left, it's like burgundy, like burnt red.
We'll check out the third pair, the pair that we got from Stockx, and see what the difference is there. This is so different than what I was expecting. I was expecting to just open them all up, them all be the same, and be like, cool, everything's great, they're all fine. But wow, the consistency differences are wild. All right, so we got one more pair of sneakers. This pair is from Stockx. This pair came in on January 9th, so the last one by far. The first pair we got in, what, 10 days earlier, so almost 2 weeks earlier. The second pair only came in 3 days before this, but still. And that's the thing too, like when you order pairs, especially over the holidays, like I was expecting shipping time to be closer to this. The fact that this came in 2 weeks, is that 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks after I ordered it, that's not a surprise. I mean, that's what these sites say that they're gonna do. And the fact that they were able to do that over the holidays is pretty impressive. So in terms of shipping time, none of these were really delayed. Here is the StockX pair. How much you wanna bet it is a pair also from China? Wow, the box is pristine. At least from the
That's
top.
what I'm talking about.
Wow, the box is pristine.
How it should be.
Look at that. And this is also a US pair too. There's no China sticker on the bottom. Okay, well these are all size 9. They're all the same size. Let's check out the top. Huh. There's a, oh, okay, it's at the bottom. I was gonna say there's no pink paper. The lace box is just completely falling apart. None of the laces actually fell out though, so that's a plus. Oh my gosh, are there no US pairs in circulation? Is that just... Oh my gosh. Okay, well you do obviously have the Stockx tag right here, which is good. The red does look right, or light, on the shoe. I mean, definitely lighter than the...
So eBay and StockX are the most similar.
Goat pair. I want to take this to a sneaker store and get their opinion, because
I
this is
don't
so
like how
wild
dark
how
it is on
different
that,
these are.
It doesn't feel like a suede material, and this is supposed to be a suede.
The only thing that is a major difference on the goat pair versus all the other pairs is the darker Cactus Jack. But again, the Cactus Jack just seems different on each one of these pairs. That might sound like I'm smoking copium here. So in terms of shipping times, StockX got here last on January 9th. They came from UPS. Goat came from DHL, and it was the fastest on, I believe, December 30th, which is wild. And then eBay was the middle one, coming in on USPS, actually, on January 6th. Final brand, or final website, we got POIZON. Now, like I mentioned, this pair I ordered, let's see, how many times? 2 times? You guys know already. I'm sure I talked about it already in the video, but 2 times. And then I ended up just ordering a pair of New Balances. New Balance 1000. It's a pair that I've really been interested in. Significantly cheaper. I'm talking like 150 bucks. But that pair I ordered on, let me see, when did I order this pair? I ordered it on January 2nd. So I ordered this pair, and within a week, it was here. So inside the box, wow, this box is... It just kind of tears when you open it. I do have to say though, presentation-wise, the box looks great. Now, once people start to know what POIZON is, because I think it's a newer brand in the United States, you know, you're gonna have some theft, but it is what it is. Now again, I mean, this is like, legit checking these is not as important just because it's not a pair of shoes that I'm
regular New Balance box
that much. The box though, the tag is completely in Chinese right there, so I hope it's the shoes that I ordered. These look big. All right, size 9 US man. Okay, maybe it's just a big looking shoe.
Yo, kind of off topic of the video, but these ones right here, I was low-key just put on the other day by, I think his name is He's Kicks. I had a beginner's guide to New Balance sneakers, and I realized these have amazing colorways. I feel like they're really slept on, really underrated, and I don't see them a lot on the internet. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it's just the algorithm I'm on, but these are a really nice pick. If you guys want some New Balances, I believe the price isn't too bad either. You get a lot of versatility. You got the colorways, as I was saying, I definitely recommend. And you guys, stay tuned. There should be a review on these real soon on the channel. I'm just kind of working things out. But make sure you hit that subscribe and notification bell so you get
Man,
notified.
I really wish they had sent me the Travis Scotts. Like, I really wish that had worked out because it would have been nice to compare. You've got the POIZON tag here, which is standard for POIZON. You've got the little POIZON paper, authentication certificate. I mean, cool pair of shoes. Like, this is a cool pair of sneakers. I'm actually really excited about checking this shoe out, trying it on. I've never tried out the New Balance 1000s. I just wish it was Travis Scott's. But that's fine. With that being said, I'm gonna hit up a couple sneaker stores in my area, see if anyone wants to legit check my shoes. Okay, for shipping time, GOAT comes in first by a mile, taking only 4 days from when I purchased the shoe to actually get to my door. Which means that GOAT gets the full 3 points for this round. Next
Now,
is
I
eBay,
would
which took
say
11
GOAT gets
days,
a little
and it
more
gets
respect
2
for me.
points. And finally,
But
is Stockx, which took 15
just
days,
don't know yet. I
and it
gotta
gets
see
just
legit
1
check.
point for coming in last.
All right, so I've got all 3 pairs of shoes. I want to make sure that they're legit, so I'm stopping by Soulply in the Cherry Hill Mall. Meeting up with my boy Alex. What's up, Alex?
What's up?
I want to get your opinion on some shoes.
For sure. Bring him in.
Yo, what's up, man?
How you doing?
So I got a couple pairs of sneakers here that I bought from GOAT, StockX, eBay, and POIZON, and then I've got a personal pair. And I just
How
want
do
to
you
get
get
your
these two
thoughts on
camera
them. I've
angles
had
set
some
up?
concerns
Can you
with
preset
some
these
of the
up?
pairs, so I wanted to go over them with you. Before we get into the Travis's, though, I did want to show you this pair right here. This is a pair that I bought from POIZON, and I'm sure they're real, but I just want to get a stamp of
Get him
approval.
authenticated.
Exactly.
For sure,
yeah.
definitely. Was there anything that just threw you off, or you just wanted to get like a double opinion, basically?
Double opinion, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've never owned a pair of these, so I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming this pair isn't faked a lot, would be my guess.
Right. The font on the label, that's one thing that we always look into, like the inside label.
Oh,
you know,
sweet.
the shoe size. I personally say these are good.
Sweet.
Nothing's throwing me off about them.
Great. That's awesome. So I got 3 pairs of Travis's and my
Solid.
own personal pair, which I'll go over last because I actually didn't have any concerns with it. And then
It's
once I
a
saw
New
all these
Balance,
pairs,
so
I was
like,
like,
come on,
shoot,
it's
mine
not
looks a
a
little off.
not a
Oh,
So I'll
crazy
save this
pair.
one for later.
Where'd you buy those
Don't
ones?
put
The
it fake.
personal pair from?
Whatnot.
Whatnot. Okay.
Right. So there's no authentication on Whatnot. And the seller, I don't remember who it was, but it was someone that I think I've bought from before, so I trust them. But then looking at some of the material differences, I don't know if it's just Nike having bad, QC.
Well, I will
or,
say the quality control on some of the pairs, like it's getting to that point now where the fake pairs and the real pairs,
Oh,
the
yeah.
quality is sometimes either on point or
right.
bad.
The one thing I did want to ask
Really
you about, 'cause I
on
noticed this from
point.
the boxes, all of them are from overseas. They all have like an overseas label on the bottom, and I didn't know if I
Gotcha.
should be concerned about that or.
Not necessarily. I personally would tell you, like, overseas is not always a bad thing.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is because there's obviously, like, there's eBay, not necessarily eBay, but like Go and what's not that have, like, overseas,
Right.
warehouses and what's not. So it's
Gotcha.
not always a bad thing. I know many people see like a, Chinese, label
Yeah.
like that, and they're like, oh no, they're fake.
Right.
But it's not always the case.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
So this one, I will say, this is from eBay. Okay.
Right. Yep. And I noticed eBay. I don't know if this particular tag is from eBay or if this is just from the reseller or retailer that they bought.
That's what I'm looking
the
at
shoe
right
from.
now. But again, like I know, being that it's overseas, it could be that.
Right.
Because obviously, eBay always
Yep.
comes with this own tag.
Okay.
Well, making sure the font's on point, because
Cool.
sometimes on the fake ones, the font is a little off.
Right.
The chin is obviously one thing that I tend to look into around the swoosh. You
Okay.
know? Honestly, nothing seems to throw me off on these.
That's great. That's really good to hear.
So one of the easiest way to tell
Mhm.
if like a quality control sticker is real or fake on the real pairs,
Right.
there's always going to be like a couple like lines across it. I'm not
Right.
sure if you can really catch it on here. I can obviously see it a little bit
Okay.
in a way, but on the fake pairs it's just like plain.
Where?
It's like it's just a quality control sticker on there.
Gotcha.
And it's just nothing on there.
All right. So the next pair, I believe, based on the sticker.
Kind of want to go back and see that
Way.
future reference.
Lines across it. I'm not real or fake. On the real pairs,
Right.
there's always going to be like a couple like lines across it. I'm not
Right.
sure if you can really catch it on here. I can obviously see it a little bit
Okay.
in a way, but on the fake pairs, it's just like plain. Like it's
Gotcha.
like just a quality control
Can't-
sticker
probably
on
can't
there,
see it on
Gotcha.
camera.
and it's just nothing on there.
All right. So the next pair, I believe, based on the sticker, is from StockX.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not good. Yeah. Believe it or not, I think it's kind of crazy too. It's like
Right.
the paper sometimes is the thing that can either tell or you can't tell.
Right.
It doesn't have an overseas label, not
Gotcha.
that I see, but this is an.
It does have that
overseas-
tag. That's
yeah,
what I thought.
So
Just a
same
GoPro
thing.
cam?
quality
Right.
control
Oh, you
sticker,
got it
I
in
mean,
camera's
you see the
hand.
lines on there
Yep.
across it,
Yep.
So it's a good thing right there. As far as the shoes though, let's obviously check it out. One thing I will say is that the smell on this one is good.
Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So
That's
I know
really
this
good.
is from StockX. It's a little iffy, but I would definitely say so far we're looking good. On the fake pairs, I have.
I didn't even know
noticed before,
StockX was
it is
iffy.
really difficult to try to sometimes take out like the insole because of how much either glue or what it is they're using, like
Right.
a tape. So
Okay.
if it's always a good thing that if you can get it out, but not also like quick.
Right. Is there anything that you're looking for in particular underneath the insole?
Yeah, the stitching. I mean,
Okay.
I will say here the stitching is pretty good.
Okay, cool.
But on the fake pairs, like the stitching is not consistent. It's
Really?
inconsistent, yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's one thing that I tend to look into. And then honestly, just overall looking at like the size tag on the
Right.
inside, Because again, on the fake pairs, you can just see and you can tell when the font is off.
Right.
You know, stitch in on the swoosh. Obviously, it's not always going to be consistent, but
Right.
on the fake pairs, obviously, because they want to just get it as exactly and identical as to the real pairs.
Gotcha.
But obviously, me
Gotcha.
looking into it, like, it's looking fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, before you go any further, and you guys let me know if you guys have ever gone through this before. Like, so let's say he authenticates the sneaker or he checks it out, but it's not legit. Can you get your money back from like StockX, Go, or whatever you buy it from? Or you just gotta kind of sit on the pair and just have it fake? Cause yeah, I've always just wondered that. Like, you gotta just stay with the pair. Y'all let me know in the comment section, cause I've never, at least I never knew. To be honest, I can't really tell a fake pair from a non-fake. I don't really look too deep into sneakers. But then again, I've not really bought like an expensive pair of sneakers to the point where they would need to be faked. Because I don't know, do they fake cheap sneakers? But yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know.
What we do know is like when it's a fake pair, like when you try to squish it or bend it, it's
it's
so
super soft.
Yeah, it's super soft. You can
Yeah.
like basically just, I'm not gonna do it because it's like, you know, real pair, but like you can just bend it and it's so easy to bend, you know.
Gotcha.
These are good.
Great. Okay, so the final pair.
Solid.
This is the one that I'll be honest, I was a little concerned about. The problem is, the
Right.
one thing that scares me is the Cactus Jack.
When I have my doubts, I gotta compare it to another pair just in case.
Gotcha.
You know.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
The label is good.
Okay,
I will
cool.
say that the label is looking good. I don't know. I mean, now that I'm looking at it,
Right.
you can see the green is off, like, and then the holes on here are way bigger as opposed to this pair. This is the pair that we have in
That's
store.
okay, okay.
And this is the pair that came from Go. But
Okay.
you can see that the holes. Obviously, you see the difference in that.
Well, I did want to ask about that because that's one thing, and we'll go over my personal pair in a minute. But that's one thing I've been wondering: is there a lot of color variation when it comes to these particular pairs?
I mean, I want to say yes, but
Okay.
at the same time, I mean, it also like the holes that I'm like comparing it to, right? This is the eBay pair.
Right, that's the eBay pair. I mean,
They kind of all look different.
they kind of
So,
all look
alright,
different.
this-
Let me pull up all three. Might as
Yeah.
well. I think the personal pair, I'm getting concerned now because looking at it, but, bro, I know.
Ooh,
Damn.
right,
I know,
yeah.
bro. That's
Even
what-
then, it's more of a darker olive, if anything, because now that you're obviously comparing all of them and what's so not.
I
but,
know. Not to throw another thing into the mix, but we will go over the personal pair in a bit. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, bro.
This is it doesn't feel like a suede material, and this is supposed to be a suede, as you
Right.
can see.
I
But
bought this one full retail on Whatnot from a seller that I thought I trusted. So that's frustrating.
Believe it or not, this isn't suede. Wow,
No,
that's. I mean, I'm not like I'm trying to obviously like, you can even feel it as to a
Wow, his own pair was
Dang.
fake.
But
And
you
he's
know what I
doing
will
all
say?
these
One
other
good thing that
tests
came
with
out of
these
this is that at least
these
it
other
looks like the
companies.
GOAT pair. It's more legit than the pair that I have.
Yeah.
And I haven't worn it in the rain. Like, this is how it came.
Really.
Yeah.
I mean, as you can see, obviously these ones right here.
Yes.
It's not always going to be
Wow.
consistent in a way.
Right.
But again, it's
Crazy
not always
twist.
a bad thing. Because
Right.
again, you have pairs that are coming from overseas. You have pairs that are coming, from retail. And
Right.
as you guys know, quality control Nike tends to mess up.
Right.
Good example, obviously, I know it's not this shoe in particular, but the black cement threes.
Yes.
The quality, the elephant print.
So different.
The glue. It's all over the place.
Right. Right. Okay, let me move the personal pairs off the table and we'll get
Okay,
back to the
yes.
GOAT pair. Yeah, I did want to go over the GOAT pair just to make sure that
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
really, like I said, I'm really hopeful that the GOAT pair is legit. I know I'm not trying to be biased, but genuinely, like, I just hope it's legit, man. Oh
You don't
my
want to
gosh.
spend that much and then find out that they're no
Exactly.
good, right?
Exactly.
Well, let's compare the cactus.
So that's the thing that really got me right off the bat, because like I opened this pair first, saw that, and I was like, wait, my pair must be fake, because my pair is red, and then I opened all three of the other pairs, and they all have the same red, just like that.
Marshall's buyers hustle for the latest trends so that you don't have to.
Double denim is back. So chic.
Yeah, and I'm looking at that right now too.
Could that have been a printing thing, or is that?
No, I wouldn't necessarily. That threw me off because it is two different colors. as
Yeah,
you can
dude,
see,
like-
And this is the pair from eBay, right?
That's eBay, and
Yeah.
then this is StockX. Yeah,
You can see it. It's not
I know.
nowhere near
Dude,
remotely
even
close
my
to
pair,
this
which may be
colorway.
fake, has the red too.
Right. Obviously, me personally, as the buyer in store, if this came in and I'm looking
Right.
at it, I personally would pass.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And this is overseas though. I will say it is overseas, but
Right.
again, personally would hold off if I see a pair that just has some, offs and what's so not.
Right. That makes sense. That makes sense.
So, this is the GOAT. This is the retail.
When you're looking at these, is it the
The
I guess
lines,
the
yeah, the
lines.
lines, and then you can also see like
foam
the
is different,
fade in,
too.
yeah, the foam and just like the fade in, as opposed to this one.
Gotcha.
This was the pair that obviously they have a store. This is the pair that's GOAT. You can just also see like the lines are not as consistent. Like they just start to fade, you know?
Right.
It's almost like it's like a cheap
So it's a
glue.
fake?
Like, there's just too many offs, you know,
Right.
comparing it to all these other pairs
GOAT's
that
a
we're looking
fake?
at. I mean, me personally, I've never dealt with a
Right.
shoe that I've seen a YDM sticker like that.
And it's the
you know?
color? Or
The
it's
color and the font.
the
Yeah,
font,
the
yeah.
font.
Oh yeah,
So
sure,
yeah,
sure.
this is store pair. This is GOAT pair.
Okay.
I mean, they got this right.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Okay,
obviously
cool.
isn't nothing that's throwing me off personally.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the craziest
Brother,
part. I
yeah,
couldn't
fix
believe
this.
that one.
How is
Yeah.
it being
I was like,
authenticated?
Because
and
even
it's
if you're
not?
comparing it to those other pairs, you know,
Right.
if
It's, like,
it
not
was
legit.
a different color, then I would be like, well,
There's got to
those
be
are
a way to
also
get your money
different, you know?
back.
Exactly.
Then you could probably be like, oh, well, you know, it's not consistent. And again, I've dealt with pairs before, and I've seen pairs before where it's from a retail shop,
Right.
and the quality is just horrible.
Yep.
So again, as much as I want to defend this pair and say that's
Right.
what it is, but we see a lot of things that are just throwing us off,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
And the main thing is, like, for me, it's just that right there, you
Yeah.
know? Just the
Yeah.
color blocking is off.
No, for sure.
Way
Yeah,
off.
for sure.
I personally would say reach out to GOAT,
Yeah.
maybe. You know, obviously.
Yeah.
Try to obviously get, you know, money back or
Right.
Oh, so
Right.
you
just
can
whatever
reach
it
out,
is.
but it's
'Cause,
not
again, if
100%.
this pair came into the store and I'm the buyer,
You're not
I would
buying it.
I would pass on it. You know,
That's
I don't
good
want
to
to take that risk, especially
Right.
with all that, because
Right.
then I sell it, and then the store sells it, and then
Right.
you know we just deal with this issue when we have a customer that's like, oh, you guys sold me a fake, you guys sold me a fake.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, dude, thank you so much. It's not the information that I wanted, but it's the information I needed, so I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
for sure. Yep.
Thank you so much,
Thank
man.
you. Of
Appreciate it.
course. Yep.
So while Alex wasn't convinced of the authenticity of the GOAT pair, I still had hope, so I ran it through two authentication apps, the Check app and the Unboxed app. After taking what felt like hundreds of photos on both
Well, I
apps
didn't know
and
you had
submitting, both apps
apps
came back
to do it
saying
for
the
you?
pair was authentic. Needless to say, I was a little surprised. I didn't expect either of them to come back saying authentic, but they both said that it was real. So at this point, I decided to reach out to GOAT through their standard customer help email and ask to return the shoes and also see what they could do for me. After explaining that I had taken the pair to a store to have them authenticated and there were some odd issues with the shoes, they asked for pictures, which of course I and after a few days, they got back to me and said they believe the shoes are authentic based on the pictures, but they would still offer me a refund if I wanted it, minus a 15% restocking fee because the shoes were confirmed to be authentic. So I accepted, and I shipped the shoes back and received a refund in credit to my account the day the shoes arrived at the warehouse. As for the other
Dope.
pair of Travis's, I took the Stockx pair and sold it on eBay, and the eBay pair and sold it on Stockx, essentially trying to triple check their authenticity, and both passed with no issues. So it appears that all three pairs of Travis Scott Jordan 1s were in fact authentic. However, I'm not gonna lie, I was unhappy with the pair that I received from GOAT. It was mainly the way the shoes arrived, the fact that they were kind of thrown about inside the box, the laces were all over the place and not in their own boxes, and also that different colored logo on the medial side. It wasn't ideal, but after having them legit checked 3 separate times after taking them to the store, I was confident that they were authentic. That said, if I was in Alex's position, I definitely wouldn't have accepted them at the store either for those exact reasons. So for authenticity, I'm scoring all 3 apps a 3. Now I'll be honest, I've been going back and forth with whether I should subtract points from GOAT because of the way that the shoes arrived and also because of some of the problems with the shoe, but I decided against it because they accepted my return with no issues, and I spent literally tens of thousands of dollars with them, and this is the first time that I've ever had an issue with any pair that I've received from them. So you can disagree with me on that, but I really do think it's an isolated incident based on my own personal experience with the app. And I would have done the same thing for eBay, Stockx, or POIZON because I've used all of those apps a bunch too. Like I said, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars with each app, probably the most on GOAT, but I've spent thousands on each app. In last place, as you probably expected, because I literally could not buy the shoes I wanted, is POIZON. Granted, the pair that I did get shipped very quickly and was obviously authentic, but still. I mean, they knocked themselves out of the running because I tried twice to buy a pair of shoes, and I couldn't buy the shoes I needed to compare against the other apps. Apparently, there was only one size 9 and one size 9.5 of Travis Scott medium olives listed, which is surprising, but hey, that's how the cookie crumbles. In third, with 6 points, is Stockx. While the shoes were clearly authentic, they weren't the cheapest, and shipping was the slowest. In second place, with 7 points, is GOAT. Yes, there was drama with the pair that I received, but in the end, it was authentic, and the shipping time was incredibly fast. And
I
finally,
don't agree with the GOAT only because the red is so off. Like, I feel like the red isn't really matching the reds from the Nike AirTag, the reds in the back. I just feel like it's so off. Even the way they presented the box. For
in
me
first
personally,
place
GOAT
with
gotta
8
be
points is
third
eBay.
place.
eBay was consistently near the top in every
But hey,
category.
this is definitely an unexpected. For sure, I did not expect eBay to be first place. I would have for sure expected eBay to probably be a fake. But now I know. Now I know I can at least have a little bit more trust in what they have going on at eBay. That's crazy. Crazy.
It was the cheapest,
eBay.
it shipped relatively quickly, and it was clearly authentic. So while there is no absolute standout winner in this relatively limited test, I do have to say that eBay is coming first now for the last 3 years. But hey, if you made it to this point in the video, let me know which one of these platforms you use the most in the comment section down below.
Right, you guys, let me know which one you guys have used. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't used any of these platforms actually. I've used them for checking prices, looking at sneakers, but I actually buy my sneakers in person. So I never had to actually go through this whole process. So you guys let me know which one you guys use the most. Let me know if you guys have had any mishaps, any fakes, or things of that nature. But as I was kind of talking about in the beginning of the video, I have done a bunch of videos kind of like this, or I've done another one where I was talking about the most comfortable sneakers bought from every single brand. And I really recommend you check out that video right here. I'll see you in that one.